The expedition led by French Governor Jacques Duperquet of Martinique under the guise of a fishing expedition laid the foundation for the colonization of Grenada. It began with the construction of a storage house for arms and ammunition, paving the way for the establishment of a proper fort. Duperquet lured volunteers to colonize Grenada with promises of tax exemption and land grants, culminating in the realization of French ambitions to exploit the island's economic potential, especially its strategic location to trade near South America. Renowned Grenadian historian John Angus Martin reflected on this historic milestone, noting that the governor and his crew initially settled in the lagoon area, where a monument now stands in commemoration.
And the sandbar that the first settlement was established on basically connected Port Louis to the area in the back here that used to be called a spout. So there would have been a sandbar that went all the way across the mouth of the lagoon that blocked it off from the carénage. And that's where the first settlement is. We know we have a drawing of that settlement that was done in 1667, and that shows exactly how the settlement was laid out. The buildings that were constructed, the houses where people lived. The church was on the site of over on Port Louis area. And that settlement basically was maintained for about the first 20 years of the colony.
The French invasion was what Martin described as the doorway to Grenada's history, marking the introduction of slavery and significant societal changes.
Basically, you would look at that date as it's the invasion of the French, invasion of Europeans of Grenada, and the beginning of everything that we know today, in the sense that they established the plantation landscape, the slavery plantation, which would bring in thousands, tens of thousands of enslaved Africans to work on plantations. So you look at it as the genesis of modern Grenada. They created the system that we inherit today, roads, parishes, the whole superstructure for plantation agriculture, and eventually the state of Grenada.
Regarding claims by some historians that the indigenous people sold Grenada for commodities like bread and brandy, Martin explained that these exchanges were viewed as trade rather than a direct sale of land, challenging the narrative of a voluntary transfer of ownership. The historian also acknowledged that while Grenada's colonization brought economic opportunities and development, it also resulted in the tragic demise of the indigenous population.
So that is one of those things that we acknowledge because it's our beginning, but we also have issues with it because of what happened and how it happened. The invasion of the French also meant the annihilation of the indigenous population on Grenada. We would not have Leapers Hill if we did not have the French coming in here in 1649. I think those are the things that they basically began a chronology that has led us up to today.
As Grenada commemorates this significant anniversary, Martin encouraged fellow Grenadians to delve deeper into their history, believing that a better understanding of the past can provide valuable insight. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.